to my channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the Becca 24-Hour Ultimate Coverage Foundation. If you do want to see a review and a demo, please keep watching. This is what the box looks like, and I got mine in the shade Cafe. When you open up the packaging, this is what the bottle does look like. This is a nice glass bottle, and this does retail for $44 at Sephora and Ulta.com. I purchased mine at Ulta. And it does come with a little pump. The shade Cafe is cool tan with a neutral undertone. Becca foundation really intrigued me because I did read online. It says, one pump effortlessly covers imperfections, redness, hyperpigmentation, and uneven texture. Hopefully this is the correct shade match, so let's pump some out on the back of my hand. So there we have one pump. So let's see how much this really does cover. I'm going to be using one side of my face with a brush and the other side with my damp beauty blender. So let's just take a little bit on my brush and let's see how much this does cover. First, let's see if this is the correct shade match because I have no idea. And since this was a pretty expensive foundation, $44, let's see how long and how far one pump does go. I didn't want to purchase two shades because I was like, it's $44 and hopefully I don't have to mix. The foundation is really covering a lot. I already primed and moisturized my skin. For moisturizer, I use my Boscia Hydrating Cream. This is really good. This will probably make it into my monthly June favorites. And then for primer, I did get a sample size when I did purchase this foundation. It's the Becca Blurring Primer. This is actually really interesting to me because it does have a tint to it. And you don't need a lot of this primer. I'm just going to pour some out so you guys can see. It does have like this corally tint to it. So that was like super intriguing, but a little bit does go a long way and it really did blur everything on my face. It does dry down clear, so it doesn't leave that weird tint to it. With the Becca Velvet Blurring Primer, a little bit does go a long way because as you guys saw, I did just pump out just one pump. If you do use a lot, like if you keep rubbing it, it does start to peel. So definitely be mindful of that. So you guys can already see it's peeling. So just use a little bit, maybe like half a pump, and it really does the job. Back to the foundation. To match my skin complexion, which I'm surprised, still only use that one pump. So let's grab a little bit more. I do like the coverage so far. Let's see what another pump of this foundation would look like. So that's another pump we have of this foundation. I'm just going to use it on the back of the brush. We're just going to build it to where I would like to cover up a little bit of my redness. Two pumps of this foundation works for me, so let's try the other side of the face with a damp beauty blender. I purchased another beauty blender because my beauty blender was tearing apart, so I did get this in this blue limited edition. Again, I'm just going to take one pump on the back of my hand and we're just going to blend it in using my damp beauty blender. As you guys know, what I like to do is just take the product and just stamping it on my face versus dotting it all over my face. I just find that application, it just applies better. So we'll probably get less coverage from using a damp beauty blender. So let's see what one pump does look like. After applying the foundation with my damp beauty blender, it does have a more natural finish versus using a brush where it looks a little bit more heavy or cakey on the face. But I do like the natural finish. It just didn't cover up as much. You can see some of my redness is peeking through. So I'm going to do the same thing what I did with the brush. Just take another pump, like so. We're going to build up the coverage just a little bit. This is what the foundation is currently looking like. Now that the foundation has already been applied to my face, I do think the shade Cafe is a little bit too light for my skin complexion. But we will see if this foundation does oxidize throughout the day. I will check back in with you guys at the end of the night to see how the foundation does last, and I will see you guys then. Hey guys, so it is the end of the night of me testing out the Becca Ultimate Coverage Foundation. It is actually the end of the night, but it's actually the 4th day of me testing out this foundation. I realized when I was editing my video today, I accidentally deleted the footage from the first day when I did do the wear test on this foundation. Let me show you guys what the foundation is currently looking like, and then I'll give you my current thoughts on how I'm feeling about this foundation. This is what the foundation is currently looking like. Typically on the 4th 4th day of me doing a wear test for a foundation. I use a brush and a beauty blender again, but I don't use any setting powder. That's why you do see a couple of lines on my forehead. I did set it with a setting spray. On the left side of my face, I applied this foundation with my damp beauty blender, and on the right side of my face, I did use a brush. That's why the coverage looks a little bit different. I'm not sure if you guys can tell on camera. It has been about 8.5 hours. When I am looking at this foundation closely in the mirror, on this side of my face, it has a little bit less coverage in my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. I just don't think that the shade match is correct. I do feel that the foundation does not oxidize and it is true to color in the bottle. So the shade Cafe is cool tan with neutral undertones. Then we do have Amber, which is golden tan with warm red undertones. I don't think Amber would match me. And then Maple was the next shade, and that's golden tan with yellow undertones. So I'm not quite sure what my shade is currently. So I will definitely keep you guys posted on how the foundation does perform at the end of the week, and I will see you guys then. Guys, so it is the end of the week of me testing out the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. My final thoughts on this foundation is that I really do love the coverage of the foundation. The shade Cafe is way too light for my skin complexion, so I am going to go back into Ulta and I will be picking up a darker shade. But so far, I really do like the formula. I love how it lasts throughout the entire day. If you can find your shade in the Becca foundation, I would highly recommend it. Using 2 pumps of the foundation goes a long way, and it covers your entire face. It's full coverage. I know you probably wouldn't want to wear a full coverage matte foundation during the summer months, but for me, I really love a full coverage foundation. Earlier in the video, I did mention that the Boscia moisturizer is going to be in my June favorites video. It did appear in my June favorites video. I know that we are currently in July, but I have been testing the Becca foundation for about a week and a half, and I really do enjoy this foundation. It's actually been more than a week for me testing out this foundation. I've been having so many technical issues with my camera, with my SD card not reading well, so I do apologize about that. But other than that, I really do enjoy this foundation. I really have to go and snag it up in my shade. If you guys did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video.